A very good afternoon to all. In the last video, we have seen the preparation of alcohols. In today's video, let us start the preparation of phenols. Okay? Preparation of phenols. Okay? So, phenol, it is also known as carbolic acid. See, phenol, it is also known as carbolic acid. Carbolic acid. In objective point, it is important. Phenol, it is also known as carbolic acid. Okay. Let us start our preparations. Preparation of phenol. Phenol, it can be prepared from halobenzene. For example, let us consider chlorobenzene. Let us see how phenol can be prepared from chlorobenzene. Okay. From halobenzene. This is the first method. Okay, I am taking the reactant or the halobenzene as chlorobenzene. Okay, chlorobenzene. When we are treating this chlorobenzene with sodium hydroxide, we need to treat this chlorobenzene with sodium hydroxide. What is the temperature that is required means it will be around 623 Kelvin and at a pressure of 320 atmospheres. Okay, we need to treat this with sodium hydroxide at a temperature of 623 Kelvin and at a pressure of 320 atmospheres. Okay, these are the conditions that we need to maintain. So we know that here halobenzenes or haloarenes, if you consider haloarenes, generally they are less reactive towards nucleophilic substitution reactions. We have already discussed in the last video. Okay, if you are not knowing, please watch that video. Okay, please watch that video and you can easily understand why haloarenes are less reactive towards nucleophilic substitution reactions. I have already discussed in that video. If you haven't known, please watch that video and watch this so that it will be easy for you. So chlorobenzene, when it is treated with sodium hydroxide, okay, at 623 Kelvin and at a pressure of 320 atmospheres, initially sodium phenoxide gets produced in this way. This is nothing but sodium phenoxide. Sodium phenoxide. It gets produced in this way. These, when we are treating with an acid, then phenol will get produced. Phenol gets produced in this way. Okay. So this is one preparatory method of phenol. Let us see the next method. And here you can get a doubt. Why we are converting these into sodium phenoxide? Why can't we convert that into phenol directly? Because phenoxide, it will be stable. That is why initially we are converting this chlorobenzene into sodium phenoxide. Please keep that in mind. So the next thing, from benzene sulfuric acid. Benzene sulfuric acid. So we can also prepare phenol by taking benzene sulfonic acid. Okay, so let us see how. Initially, let us see how benzene sulfonic acid gets produced. We have seen this preparation of benzene sulfonic acid in electrophilic substitution reactions. Okay, nothing but when we are considering benzene, when that is reacted with oleum. Okay, so benzene sulfonic acid gets produced. It is an electrophilic substitution reaction. Okay, for example, let us consider benzene. This is nothing but benzene. This, when we are reacting with oleum, formula of oleum is nothing but H2S2O7. This is nothing but oleum. So it is a mixture of concentrated H2SO4 and SO3. This is nothing but oleum. Oleum, it is a mixture of concentrated sulfuric acid and SO3. Here, the SO3 which is present here, it will be electrophilic in nature. So these will go and bind to the benzene ring. Okay. If it goes and binds to the benzene ring, we will get benzene sulfonic acid. We will get benzene sulfonic acid in this way. Okay? Benzene sulfonic acid gets produced. Let us see the next reaction, what happens in the next reaction. Benzene sulfonic acid gets produced. So this benzene sulfonic acid, this is nothing but benzene sulfonic acid. So these, when we are treating with molten sodium hydroxide, when we are treating this with molten sodium hydroxide, then sodium salt will get produced. Okay. Sodium salt gets produced. These on reaction with H+, nothing but with an acid, it will produce phenol. This produces phenol. So this is the preparation of phenol from benzene sulfonic acid. So I have said you how to prepare benzene sulfonic acid. Benzene, it is reacted with oleum. This we call it as oleum. Okay, H2S2O7. So oleum, it is a mixture of concentrated sulfuric acid and sulfur trioxide gas. We pass SO3 gas into concentrated sulfuric acid, that forms oleum. So we are treating that with benzene to form benzene sulfonic acid. That on treatment with molten sodium hydroxide, it forms a salt, which on further treatment with H+ ion, nothing but acid, it gives phenol. This is the next method to prepare phenol. Simple thing. Next, the third method, from diazonium salts. From diazonium salts. So we can also prepare phenol by taking diazonium salt, benzene diazonium salt. You know how benzene diazonium salt gets produced. Okay, initially to form benzene diazonium salt, we take the reactant as aniline. You already know this. I think in Sandwell's reaction we come across this preparation of this diazonium salt also. So we take the reactant as aniline here. C6H5 and H2, we call these as aniline, simple thing. Or we can also call it as aminobenzene. Aminobenzene. Okay, aniline. This is treated with sodium nitrite, NaNO2 plus HCl, at a temperature of 273 to 278 Kelvin at this temperature. Okay, so when we are treating aniline with sodium nitrate in presence of HCl and at a temperature of 273 to 278 Kelvin, okay, so it produces benzene diazonium chloride. This is nothing but benzene diazonium chloride. So if you have any doubt in the preparation of benzene diazonium chloride, you can just watch my video on Sandwell's reaction. Okay, benzene diazonium chloride gets produced. Now when we are warming this with water, when we warm this with water, with water, then this will produce phenol. So we know that N2 plus, it is a good leaving group. N2 plus, it is a good leaving group. So it comes out as nitrogen plus HCl will get produced. Okay, or even we can treat this with dilute HCl also. We will get the same phenol, we will get produced. It gets produced. Simple thing. I have taken aniline as the reactant. I am treating this with sodium nitrite in presence of HCl at this temperature to form benzene diazonium chloride as the intermediate product. And this benzene diazonium chloride, when it is warmed with water, phenol gets produced. Along with this, what are the other two products? Means nitrogen, it is one product, and HCl is the other product. HCl is the other product. Okay. So this is from aniline or from benzene diazonium chloride, we can understand. Okay, so please take this. The next method to prepare phenol is nothing but from cumene. Okay, so we can also prepare phenol from cumene. So let us first see what is cumene. Cumene is nothing but It is nothing but isopropyl benzene. Isopropyl benzene. We call this as cumene. Isopropyl benzene. We generally call it as cumene. So we take this as the reactant in preparing phenol. So let us first see how isopropyl benzene gets produced. Simple thing. Okay. Benzene we consider initially as benzene. So these, when it is treated with propene. So in objective questions they will ask us about this cumene. Okay, they will say benzene on reaction with which of the following compound produces cumene. That is nothing but propene. Okay, so when we are treating benzene with propene in presence of acid, you can take H3PO4 phosphoric acid. Okay, it will produce, or we can also take anhydrous aluminum chloride also. This is nothing but alkylation, Friedel-Crafts alkylation. We can also consider anhydrous aluminum chloride also instead of this H3PO4, or we can also consider anhydrous aluminum chloride can also be considered. Then isopropyl benzene gets produced. This is nothing but isopropyl benzene, and this is generally known as cumene. Cumene gets produced. Okay. Now we take cumene as the starting reactant. Cumene, we take that as the starting reactant. Cumene, isopropyl benzene. This is nothing but isopropyl benzene. These on oxidation. Okay, it will produce a peroxide in this way. Cumene hydroperoxide gets produced. This is the hydroperoxide which gets produced. Cumene hydroperoxide gets produced. Cumene hydroperoxide. So you can see the peroxy linkage. That is why it is known as cumene hydroperoxide. Okay. These, when we are treating with a dilute acid, okay, so it will form phenol as the product. Phenol will get produced. Along with this phenol, the other side product is nothing but acetone. So they can ask us in the preparation of phenol from cumene, which of the following is the side product? So acetone or propanone, both are same only. It is the side product. Acetone or propanone. Okay, this is the side product, and this is our main product. Phenol, it is our main product. Okay, so what you need to remember in this reaction? Okay, what is cumene? You need to remember. Cumene is nothing but isopropyl benzene. So I have said the preparation of cumene also. Benzene on reaction with propene in presence of anhydrous aluminum chloride or phosphoric acid produces isopropyl benzene. So we take that as the reactant, and later we will make this cumene to undergo oxidation. Nothing but treating with oxygen produces cumene hydroperoxide. These on reaction with dilute acid produces phenol. Okay, nothing but here the bonds get broken down here. Sorry, not here. Here. So this OH group will come and bind to this. It will come out as acetone. So these are some preparatory methods of phenols. Okay, we have seen the preparations from haloarenes, nothing but halobenzene. The second from benzene, sulfonic acid. The third thing from benzene, diazonium chloride. The fourth thing from cumene. Okay, please note down. Now let us talk about the physical properties. Okay, physical properties of alcohols and phenols. Okay, in this let us talk about the boiling point. Let us talk about the boiling point. Okay, so alcohols or phenols, generally they will have high boiling points when compared with the hydrocarbons or haloalkanes or haloarenes of comparable molecular masses. Okay, the reason is nothing but why alcohols and phenols have higher boiling point when compared with hydrocarbons or haloalkanes or haloarenes, okay, or ethers. The reason is nothing but these alcohols or phenols, they can form hydrogen bonding. So due to the formation of these hydrogen bonding, alcohols or phenols, generally they will have high boiling point when compared with the remaining things like hydrocarbons, haloalkanes, haloarenes, ethers. Okay, let us take an example to understand these more clearly. Okay, for example, let us consider ethanol. Let us consider ethanol. Okay, let us consider propane. Let us consider methoxymethane. Methoxymethane. These three things. Okay. If you see ethanol, the formula of this is C2H5OH. Propane, CH3, CH2, CH3. Methoxymethane, CH3OCH3. So let us compare the molecular masses. I have taken all the three compounds having almost the same molecular mass. Ethanol, if you consider carbon, it is 12, 24, this is 6, 30. This is nothing but 24, 30, 46. In the same way, when you consider propane, 3 carbons, okay, atomic mass of carbon, you know, 12 threes, nothing but 36. So 36 plus 8, this is nothing but 44. In the same way, methoxymethane, each methyl group, this is 12, this is hydrogen 1, okay, 15, 30, this is also 46. So if you see these three compounds, they have almost same molecular mass. But when we see the boiling point of these three compounds, 1, 2, 3, okay. So 1 will be greater than 2, 2 will be greater than 3. 1 will be greater than 3, 3 will be greater than 2. This will be the order. Okay. So here if you see ethanol, why it has high boiling point? The reason is nothing but between ethanol molecules, hydrogen bonding will be present. Intermolecular hydrogen bonding will be present in ethanol molecules, whereas in propane and methoxymethane, no such bonding will be present. So that is why ethanol, it will have high boiling point when compared with the remaining things. Okay, hope you understood. Even when we consider phenol, let us consider phenol also. In phenol also, between the molecules, between phenol molecules, hydrogen bonding will be present. Okay. So this is nothing but the hydrogen bonding. So in order to convert this into vapor state, okay, more energy is required because these hydrogen bonds are to be broken. Then only it can move into the vapor state. Okay. So this is something about boiling point of alcohols and phenols. Okay. Next, if we consider the next thing, let us consider the solubility. Solubility, the next property, the next physical property. Okay, lower alcohols, when we consider, they are generally soluble in water. Lower alcohols are soluble in water. Why lower alcohols are soluble in water means because they form hydrogen bonds with the water molecules. Since these are alcohols, lower alcohols, the meaning of that is they have less number of carbons. That is the meaning of lower alcohols. Since they are having less number of carbons, they can form hydrogen bonds with the water molecules easily, so they can get soluble. Okay, as the alkyl or aryl chain length, if it increases, okay, if it increases, solubility of the alcohol will get decreased. Okay, alkyl or aryl chain, if you consider, generally it is non-polar in nature. Alkyl chain is non-polar in nature. As the chain length of that alkyl group increases, then solubility will decrease. Remember this point. So lower alcohols are generally soluble in water because they form hydrogen bonds. But as the alkyl chain length increases, as the alkyl chain length increases, solubility decreases. Solubility decreases. Okay, keep this in mind. So this is about physical properties of alcohols and phenols. Now let us answer some of these questions, okay, and then we will move to the next topic. Okay, see here, this is the reactant. If you see this reactant, it contains two functional groups. Okay, one is nothing but ester functional group is there. So one is nothing but ketone functional group is there. So when this compound, when it is treated with sodium borohydride, what is the nature of sodium borohydride? It is a reducing agent. Okay, so it will reduce aldehydes, ketones and acid chlorides. Okay, but not esters. Remember this point. So when we are treating this compound which contains ketone functional group as well as ester functional group, ester functional group which is present here, it will not undergo reduction. Okay, sodium borohydride has no capability to reduce esters. It can reduce this ketone. Okay, ketone can get converted into secondary alcohol, we know that. Okay, but the ester group which is present in this compound, it will not undergo any change. Okay, next, look at this compound. Okay, 2-methyl-butanol. These on reaction with, this is nothing but 2-methyl-butanol aldehyde. These on reaction with sodium borohydride. We know that when an aldehyde undergoes a reduction with the sodium borohydride, alcohol gets produced. Okay, not only with sodium borohydride, we can use lithium aluminum hydride, we can use hydrogen in presence of metal catalyst. Okay, we can use sodium in presence of alcohol. Okay, we can use any one of these reagents. So sodium borohydride, if you see in this question, it will reduce this aldehyde group into alcohol. So the product will be CH3, CH2, CH, CH3, CH2OH. Okay. So 2-methyl-butanol gets produced. 2-methyl-butanol gets produced. Okay. So let us see the next thing here. Third question, it is nothing but we need to give the order of increasing boiling points. We need to give the order of increasing boiling points. Increasing boiling points for these compounds. Okay, pentane 1-ol, butane 1-ol, butane 2-ol, ethanol, propane 1-ol, methanol. So we need to give the boiling point order. Okay, so we know that as I said initially, okay, as the surface area increases, force of attraction between the molecules will also increase. If force of attraction increases, boiling point will also increase. Nothing but boiling point, it is directly proportional to the surface area. And one more thing, as the branching increases, surface area will decrease, then the boiling point will decrease. Remember this point. When we consider isomers of a compound, okay, the isomer of a compound which has high branching, it will have low boiling point. Which has low branching, it will have high boiling point. This is with respect to isomers. Okay. So let us see this compound: pentane 1-ol, butane 1-ol, butane 2-ol, ethanol, propane 1-ol, methanol. So among these compounds, methanol, it will be small in size, na? Okay, the size of methanol is less, okay, when compared with the remaining. So 6 is less than, the next compound will be ethanol. It contains only 2 carbons. The remaining compounds contain more than 2 carbons. Okay, so next will be ethanol. It is less than. Next, if you see propanol, it contains 3 carbons. The remaining compounds contain more than 3 carbons. As the number of carbons increase, we know that surface area will also increase. Obviously, if surface area increases, force of attraction increases. So it will be less than 5. 5 is less than. So among, here if you see, after propanol, there are 2 compounds. Butane 1-ol is there, butane 2-ol is there. Okay. So if you consider these 2 compounds, let us consider butane 1-ol and butane 2-ol. Butane 1-ol indicates that at first carbon OH group is present. Okay, at first carbon OH group is present. Butane 2-ol, it indicates that at second carbon OH group is present. This is nothing but butane 2-ol. Butane 2-ol. This is butane 1-ol. So here if you see, it is a branching. Okay, here there is no such thing. Okay, here branching is present, here there is no such branching. So these will have, butane 1-ol will have more surface area. Okay, so it will have more boiling point when compared with butane 2-ol. So it is less than 3. 3 is less than 2. Okay, so the last will be 1. So this is the order of boiling point with respect to these compounds. Okay, so a question can be asked based on these also. Okay, based on the boiling points, you can come across a question. So just remember one thing, as the chain length increases in alcohols, surface area will also increase. Okay, as the surface area increases, more energy is required to make them convert into vapor state. Okay, then the boiling point will also increase. Okay, please take it. Yeah, the next thing is nothing but chemical reactions. Okay, let us first talk about alcohols. Okay, so this is an alcohol. This is nothing but ethanol. Okay, so here if you see alcohols, they can act as both electrophiles and nucleophiles. Alcohols, they can act as both electrophiles as well as nucleophiles. Electrophiles as well as nucleophiles. So when they will act as electrophiles, when they will act as nucleophiles. Simple thing. So if the bond between oxygen and this hydrogen, if it gets broken, then these will act as nucleophile. Simple thing, if the bond between oxygen and hydrogen in the OH group, if it gets broken down, it will act as nucleophile. If the bond between carbon and oxygen, if it gets broken down, then it will act as electrophile. Okay, simple thing. Alcohols, they can act both as electrophiles and nucleophiles. Okay, when the bond between oxygen and hydrogen is broken, it will act as nucleophile. When the bond between carbon and oxygen is broken, it will act as electrophile. In case of this, bond between carbon and oxygen will get broken. In case of this, bond between oxygen and hydrogen will get broken down. So based on the cleavage of the bond, we can classify, we can divide the reactions into 2 groups. Okay, reactions involving cleavage of OH bond, reactions involving cleavage of CO bond. First we will see reactions involving cleavage of OH bond. Okay, here what you need to remember, alcohols can act as both electrophiles and nucleophiles. Okay, this you please remember. Now let us see reactions involving cleavage of OH bond. Reactions involving cleavage of OH bond. Cleavage of OH bond. Okay. So the reactions which I am going to say now, involve cleavage of OH bond. Nothing but these will act as nucleophiles. Okay. Reaction with metals. Reaction with metals. Reaction with metals. Okay. Let us consider an alcohol. An alcohol. These on reaction with metal. I am taking sodium as a metal. Okay. It forms alkoxide ion. RONA gets produced. Along with this, hydrogen gas gets liberated. Okay. So when alcohol reacts with metal, I am considering sodium as the metal. It forms sodium alkoxide. Sodium alkoxide is the product. Simple thing. Sodium alkoxide is the product. Along with that, hydrogen gets liberated. From where this hydrogen is getting liberated, it is from the alcohol, ROH, alcohol. It is giving the H plus ions. Since it is giving the H plus ions, okay, hydrogen gas is getting liberated from this. Okay, if H plus ions are not given by the alcohol group, hydrogen gas will not get liberated, no? So, liberation of this hydrogen gas indicates that alcohols are acidic in nature. So, it shows that alcohols are acidic in nature. Okay, let us take one more example. So this is nothing but tertiary butyl alcohol. Tertiary butyl alcohol. When we are treating these with silver, when we are treating these with silver, okay, sorry, when we are treating these with aluminium, not silver, aluminium, okay, then it will produce aluminium tertiary butoxide gets produced. Aluminium tertiary butoxide gets produced in this way. Aluminium tertiary butoxide gets produced. Along with this, hydrogen gas gets liberated. Okay, we can take one more reaction also. Okay, for example, when we are treating phenol, with sodium metal, it also produces sodium phenoxide. And hydrogen gas gets liberated from this. Hydrogen gas gets liberated. It also indicates that phenols are acidic in nature. Okay. So these reactions tell us the acidic nature of alcohols and phenols. Okay. Please note this. Here what you need to remember is what is the gas. In some objective questions they can ask us when phenol reacts with metals, or when alcohols and phenols react with metals, which of the following gas gets liberated? They can ask us a question. That is nothing but hydrogen gas. Okay, it confirms that alcohols and phenols are acidic in nature. Please keep this in mind. Please note down. Let us see the next reactions. Yeah, the next concept is nothing but, let us see the acidic nature in different types of alcohols. There are different types of alcohols now. Primary alcohol, secondary alcohol, tertiary alcohol. Let us see the acidic nature in these alcohols. Which is nothing but which alcohol will be more acidic nature. That we are going to see now. Okay. So this is nothing but a primary alcohol. A primary alcohol. This is nothing but a secondary alcohol. This is nothing but a tertiary alcohol. Okay, look at this. So three types of alcohols I have mentioned: primary alcohol, secondary alcohol, tertiary alcohol. So among these three types of alcohols, which will be more acidic in nature? Okay. So see, acidic nature of alcohols or phenols, it is due to the polarity of the OH bond. Since OH bond is polar in nature, this OH bond, since this is polar in nature, they are acidic in nature. Okay, oxygen, it is more electronegative than hydrogen. Okay, that is why it will give out this H plus ion easily. It can kick out this hydrogen as H plus ion. Okay, so the OH bond is polar in nature. Okay. So, if you see the acidic nature of these three alcohols, primary will be greater than, secondary will be greater than tertiary. This is the order. Why primary alcohol is more acidic when compared with the secondary and tertiary? Okay, we can easily understand that. Here, if you see from left to right, the number of alkyl groups are increasing. If you see, R indicates the alkyl group. Okay, here one alkyl group is there, here two alkyl groups are there, here three alkyl groups are there. What is the nature of alkyl group? To donate the electrons. They increase the electron density on the attached carbon. Okay, for example, if you see this alkyl group, R is nothing but the alkyl group. It will donate electrons to this carbon. So this carbon will donate electrons to this oxygen. Ultimately, the electron density on this oxygen will increase. Electron density on this oxygen will increase. If the electron density increases, this oxygen, it will not pull electrons from this hydrogen. Understood? Okay? It will not pull electrons from this hydrogen and it will not liberate the hydrogen easily. Now, when you are going from left to right, you can see the number of alkyl groups are increasing. The meaning of that is electron density on this oxygen goes on increasing now. If that increases, polarity of the OH bond will decrease because oxygen is getting electrons from these alkyl groups. There is no necessity for this oxygen to pull the electrons from this hydrogen now. So it will not give out that hydrogen easily. In case of this, electron density will be further more. So polarity of this OH bond will be further decreased. Okay. So here from left to right, when we are moving, polarity of OH bond is getting decreased due to the increase in the number of alkyl groups. Okay. So if polarity decreases, donation of H plus ion will also decrease. That is why this is the order. Primary greater than, secondary greater than, tertiary. Understood what I said? Please note down. So the next thing is nothing but whether alcohols are more acidic or water will be more acidic. Okay, let us see this. So water is more acidic. Water is more acidic when compared with alcohols. When compared with alcohols. When compared with alcohols, okay, water will be more acidic in nature. Let's see how. Okay, let us consider a reaction. I am considering an alkoxide ion in this way. I am treating this with water. Okay, then it will form alcohol plus hydroxide ion gets produced. Here if you see, okay, water, it is donating H plus ion. Nothing but it is acting as an acid. Since alkoxide ion is taking up that H plus ion, it will act as a base. Then this will be its conjugate acid. It will be its conjugate acid. OH minus, this is the conjugate base of water. Water is acting as an acid, then this will be its conjugate base. Conjugate base. From this reaction, you can understand that, okay, when we are reacting an alkoxide ion with water, water is giving the H plus ion. Okay, nothing but it is more acidic than alcohol. Since it is more acidic than alcohol, it is giving the H plus ion. This reaction indicates that water is more acidic when compared with the alcohols. Okay. And one more thing is nothing but alkoxide ions are stronger bases when compared with hydroxide ions. Alkoxide ions are stronger bases when compared with hydroxide ions. Please remember this point. Alkoxide ions are stronger bases when compared with hydroxide ions. When compared with hydroxide ions. Remember this point. You can easily understand by this reaction, no? So H plus ion will be taken up by this RO minus ion to form ROH. Okay. For example, sodium hydroxide is there. Sodium ethoxide is there. sodium ethoxide is there. Okay. So among these two things, which is a stronger base means sodium ethoxide will be a stronger base when compared with sodium hydroxide. Okay. Hope you understood. Okay. So the final thing which I want to say is water is more acidic when compared with alcohol. You can understand this by this reaction. Please note down. Let us see the acidity of phenols. Let us now see the acidic nature of phenols. Acidity of phenols. Acidity of phenols. Okay. This is the next concept which we are going to see now. Acidity of phenols. See, phenols are more acidic when compared with water and alcohols. Phenols are more acidic. Phenols are more acidic when compared with water and alcohols. With water and alcohols. Let us see why phenols are more acidic when compared with water and alcohols. Okay. For example, let us consider a phenol in this way. When we are reacting these with aqueous sodium hydroxide, then it forms sodium phenoxide. From this you can understand phenols are more acidic when compared with water. From this reaction, see, whenever we are using aqueous sodium hydroxide, okay, so phenol is liberating the H plus ion to form this sodium phenoxide. Is that right? Here phenol is the one which is giving out the H plus ion. Although there are water molecules in this aqueous sodium hydroxide, phenol is giving the H plus ion. Nothing but since it is more acidic when compared with when we are comparing with water, it is giving out the H plus ion. So this reaction indicates that phenols, they are more acidic when compared with water. We know that water is more acidic when compared with alcohols. So from this you can understand phenols are more acidic when compared with water and alcohols. And one more thing. Okay. Let us consider the ionization of phenol as well as the ionization of alcohol. When alcohol undergoes ionization, it will produce alkoxide ion in this way. Alkoxide ion gets produced. When phenol undergoes ionization, it will form phenoxide ion. in this way. Okay. Now here, if you see the negative charge which is present on this oxygen atom, it will not get delocalized. So no delocalization will be present. So there is no delocalization of this negative charge in case of alkoxide ions. But in case of phenoxide ion, the negative charge which gets produced here, it can undergo delocalization. Since the negative charge is undergoing delocalization, it will become stable. So that is why phenol will be more acidic when compared with alcohol. When phenol undergoes ionization, it is forming a stable phenoxide ion. Stable phenoxide ion is getting produced. How that is becoming stable? How this is becoming stable? The reason is nothing but the negative charge which gets developed here, it will undergo conjugation with the benzene ring, with the pi electrons of this benzene ring. Okay, and it forms a resonating structures. Okay, that is why phenoxide ion which got produced here will be more stable than the phenol. That is why it tends to lose the H plus ion and convert into phenoxide ion. Okay, let us see the resonating structures of this phenoxide ion. And one more thing, keep in mind that you know that the carbon in alcohols, it is sp3 hybridized. But the carbon in phenol, this carbon, it is sp2 hybridized, you know. Then this carbon will be more electronegative than the carbon of alcohols. Since the electronegativity of this carbon is more, it will pull the electrons from this oxygen. It will try to pull the electrons from this oxygen, and this oxygen okay, it will pull the electrons from the hydrogen. It is better that we consider here, okay, this carbon. Okay, so this is sp2 hybridized. Since it is sp2 hybridized, it will be more electronegative in nature. This will pull the electrons from oxygen and it will show the effect on this hydrogen. It will try to pull the electrons from hydrogen, so that the bond becomes weak between oxygen and hydrogen. So it will easily give out the H plus bond. Electronegativity of carbon present in phenol is also one of the reasons for more acidic nature of phenols when compared with alcohols. So now let us see the resonating structures of phenoxide ions. See the resonating structures. Okay. So this is nothing but phenoxide ion. So these lone electrons which are there on this oxygen, they get moved, okay, into the benzene ring, and these pi bonds will shift towards this carbon, and it will form the resonating structure in this way. Okay, nothing but here, when this pi bond is shifted towards this carbon, it will get a positive charge. This positively charged carbon and this negatively charged oxygen will form a double bond in this way. Okay. In the same way, this bond, it will shift towards this carbon. So it will get a positive charge. So here, if this bond is shifted towards this carbon, it will get a positive charge, it will get a negative charge. Positive and negative, they will form a double bond in this way. In the same way, this bond, it will shift towards this carbon. Here, this carbon will get a positive charge. Positive and negatively charged carbon, they will form a double bond. They will form a double bond in this way. Okay. Again, if you see this bond, it will shift towards this oxygen. Then, this is the compound which gets produced. So in these resonating structures, if you observe, negative charge is getting delocalized, there is movement of negative charge. When there is a delocalization of negative charge, okay, that compound will be stable. So you can see how negative charge is getting moved. Okay, but in case of alkoxide ion, there is no resonating structures. Since there are no resonating structures, okay, the negative charge gets localized on the oxygen atom only. It will not get delocalized. Localization of negative charge is present in alkoxide ions. Okay. Next, when we consider phenol, let us see the resonating structures in phenols also. So these will contain lone pairs in this way. These electrons, they will move here. Okay. And this bond, when this lone pair moves towards the benzene ring, this pi bond will move towards this carbon. Okay, then see the resonating structures. Since lone electrons are given by this oxygen, it will develop a positive charge. Okay, and since pi bond is shifting towards this carbon, it will get a negative charge. Simple thing. Okay, again this pi bond, it will shift towards this carbon. Then this carbon will develop a negative charge. Okay. A double bond gets developed here. In the same way, this pi bond, it will shift towards this carbon. Here, there will be a positive charge which gets developed. Again, this pi bond, it will shift towards this oxygen. Okay, nullifying this positive charge. Again, this carbon will get a positive charge, positive and negative, they will form a double bond again. Okay, so these are the resonating structures of phenol. These are the resonating structures of phenoxide. So here what you need to observe, that is nothing but in the resonating structures of phenoxide ion there is no charge separation. Here in the resonating structures of phenoxide ion there is no charge separation, only delocalization of this negative charge is taking place. But in case of phenol, if you see the resonating structures, there is charge separation, no? Positive charge, negative charge, positive, negative, positive, negative. So there is charge separation in the resonating structures of phenol. If there is a charge separation, they will be unstable. Okay. So that is why phenol will be more stable. Phenoxide ion is more stable than phenol. Okay. Due to the presence of charge separation in the resonating structures of phenol, phenol is less acidic, phenol is less stable when compared with phenoxide ion. Okay, keep this in mind. Phenoxide ion is more stable when compared with phenol. The reason is nothing but in phenol charge separation is present. Charge separation is present. Okay, keep this in mind. Please take this. Now overall if you see, okay, we have discussed the acidic nature of alcohols, phenols as well as water also. So among these three things, alcohols, water, phenols, among these three things, if you see the acidic nature order, okay, phenols will be more acidic than water. Water is more acidic when compared with alcohol. This is the order. Keep this order in mind. Please keep this order in mind. Okay. Phenol is more acidic when compared with water. Water is more acidic when compared with alcohol. This is the acidic nature order. Acidic nature order. Acidic nature followed what I said. Okay. Now let us take one more simple concept and then we will wind up this class. Okay. So it is very important. The last concept which I am saying now is very important in the objective point. Okay. So in NEET point it will be very important. See, electron withdrawing groups, electron donating groups, See, if electron withdrawing groups are present on the benzene ring in phenols, its acidic nature will increase. Remember this point. If electron withdrawing groups are present on the benzene ring of phenol, acidic nature will increase. If electron donating groups are present on the benzene ring of phenol, okay, then acidic nature will get decreased. Let us take some examples. Okay, so electron withdrawing groups means you can consider examples as nitro group, NO2. It is an electron withdrawing group. Okay, COOH. It is also an electron withdrawing group. Is that right? So when electron withdrawing groups are present, then acidic nature of phenols will increase. In case of electron donating groups like alkyl group, ethyl group, okay, these are nothing but electron donating groups. If these groups are present in phenol, then acidic nature will decrease. Okay, let us see that. Let us see this. This is nothing but a phenol. Para-nitrophenol or 4-nitrophenol. This is nothing but a cresol, paracresol. Okay, this is phenol. This is para-nitrophenol, or you can say it as 4-nitrophenol also. This is paracresol. Cresol is nothing but on the benzene ring, if OH and CH3 groups are present at ortho or meta or para, we generally call them as cresols. Okay. So here in this case, if you see, in case of para-nitrophenol, okay, NO2 group is present. In case of paracresol, methyl group is present. Methyl group, it will donate electrons to the benzene ring. Okay, then the electron density on this oxygen, it will increase. But in case of para-nitrophenol, this NO2 group, it pulls the electrons from the benzene ring. When it pulls the electrons from the benzene ring will have more effect on this oxygen. Then this benzene ring will pull the electrons from this oxygen. Then the polarity between oxygen and hydrogen will increase. Nothing but oxygen will have its effect more on the hydrogen. It will pull electrons from this hydrogen. Nothing but when it pulls electrons, both the electrons from the hydrogen will come out as H plus ion easily. Deficiency will increase, polarity will increase. So if electron withdrawing groups are present on the benzene ring, polarity between oxygen and hydrogen will increase. If polarity increases, what happens? H plus ion can be easily given out. Followed what I said? Simple thing. Okay. So among these three compounds, 1, 2, 3. Among these three compounds, okay, which is more acidic in nature means second one, para-nitrophenol. Next, among phenol and paracresol, which is more acidic means phenol will be more acidic in nature. Next will be paracresol. Nothing but 4-methyl-phenol will be more acidic. So this is the order of acidic nature. Acidic nature. This is the order of acidic nature of these three compounds. Okay, this is very important. Please keep in mind. Now, let us see the acidic nature of orthonitrophenol, metanitrophenol, paranitrophenol. So, among these three compounds, which is more acidic in nature? Among these three compounds, if you see, okay, orthonitrophenol and paranitrophenol, they are more acidic when compared with metanitrophenol. What is the reason? The reason is nothing but, see, when you see the resonating structures of phenols, resonating structures of phenols, resonating structures of phenols, when we see, okay, negative charge will get delocalized at ortho position as well as para position. In the resonating structures of phenols, when you see, okay, negative charge, it will get delocalized on the ortho position as well as para position, but not on the meta position. If negative charge is getting delocalized at ortho and para position, and if electron withdrawing group is present, at such positions, ortho position as well as para position, that negative charge which got developed, it can be stabilized by this NO2 group. Okay, NO2 group will stabilize that negative charge. Okay, and one more thing is nothing but NO2 group, if you see, NO2 group, if you see, it will withdraw the electrons. Nothing but, if NO2 group is present, if NO2 group, if it is present at ortho and para position, okay, it will show minus I effect and minus N effect. Two effects will show, negative inductive effect, negative mesomeric effects. Okay, negative mesomeric effect is nothing but what? Substituent will pull the electrons towards itself from the benzene ring. That is nothing but negative mesomeric effect. When I said about the resonating structures of phenol, okay, so if you see, if we know that negative charge gets developed on this carbon, so this negative charge will get delocalized into this NO2 group. NO2 group which is present here. If it is not visible, I will go over here. See, look here. Look here. OH, N, O minus. So in the resonating structures of phenol, negative charge gets developed at ortho position in this way. This negative charge which gets developed here, it will get delocalized into this NO2 group. When it gets delocalized into this NO2 group, it is becoming stable. Okay, nothing but electron density decreases on the oxygen. If it decreases, polarity of OH bond will increase. That is why it will be more acidic when compared with metanitrophenol. In case of metanitrophenol, negative charge will not get produced at the meta position. If it is not producing at meta position, that negative charge will not get stabilized by this NO2 group.
Yes, and H.
It will not get stabilized by the NO2 group. Nothing but when NO2 is present at a meta position with respect to OH group, minus M effect will not be shown by this NO2. Only minus I effect will be shown. Since only minus I effect is shown, negative inductive effect, this will be less acidic when compared with orthonitrophenol and paranitrophenol. Simple thing. So remember that when NO2 is at meta position, it will not show minus M effect. It will show only minus I effect, negative inductive effect. So it will be less acidic when compared with orthonitrophenol and paranitrophenol. The next thing is nothing but among orthonitrophenol and paranitrophenol, which is more acidic in nature, means paranitrophenol. The reason is nothing but this orthonitrophenol, it will produce intramolecular hydrogen bonding. See, this is orthonitrophenol. So these will develop, this will form hydrogen bond. The hydrogen which is present in this OH group, okay, it will form hydrogen bonding with the oxygen of this NO2 group. Intramolecular hydrogen bonding gets developed. Okay, so due to that nature, acidic nature of orthonitrophenol will be less when compared with paranitrophenol. So the order will be para greater than, ortho greater than meta. This will be the order. Please keep this in mind. Okay, this is important. So when we see, for example, if in the question if he has given phenol also, then metanitrophenol will be more acidic when compared with phenol. Okay, please take this. Now let us compare the acidic nature in orthocresol, metacresol and paracresol. Okay, let us compare the acidic nature. So when methyl group is at ortho position, it can show hyperconjugation effect, okay, as well as it can show positive inductive effect. When methyl group is at ortho position as well as at para position, two effects will be shown. They are nothing but hyperconjugation effect. The next effect is nothing but positive inductive effect. Okay. So due to these two effects, ortho and paracresols, they will be less acidic when compared with metacresol. If methyl group is at meta position, it can show only plus I effect. Hyperconjugation effect cannot be shown by methyl group if it is at meta position. Only plus I effect will be shown. That is why the electron density on this oxygen atom in metacresol, it will be less when compared with ortho and paracresol. That is why metacresol, it will be more acidic. Metacresol will be more acidic than ortho and paracresol. Now among orthocresol and paracresol, which will be more acidic in nature, paracresol will be more acidic. Why paracresol is more acidic in nature when compared with orthocresol? The reason is nothing but, see, positive inductive effect, plus I effect, it depends on the distance. As the distance increases, positive inductive effect decreases. So you can see here between OH group and methyl group, the distance got increased when compared with OH group and methyl group in orthocresol. Okay, so as the distance increases, positive inductive effect decreases. Nothing but electron density on this oxygen atom decreases when CH3 group distance from this OH group increases. So that is why metacresol is more acidic than paracresol is more acidic when compared with orthocresol. So this is about the acidic nature of alcohols and phenols. Hope you have enjoyed the class. Okay. If you have any doubt, please give a message in the YouTube. Okay. If you have any doubt, regarding the topic which we have discussed, you can ask a question there itself. I will answer the question. So if you love my videos, please do subscribe. Thank you all.